Now it's time to play What's Up His Butt.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! What is it?
Gonna make you guess,
Good.
but it is devastating.
Oh.
I'd call this an anal catastrophe.
Whoa.
Okay.
A Japanese man left fighting for his life when his chair collapsed and he was penetrated by a metal pipe.
Oh my God! They put a chair over top of a pipe.
Oh, so it was one of those. If you're chubby,
Those are dangerous chairs.
Yeah, they
You
really
can't-
are.
You can't take a risk.
no.
It's a foldable kind.
When I sit in those, it sounds like an old wooden ship,
Yeah, like a creaky.
like an old boat, like that you're on, like old pirate style ship.
That's on its last legs.
Yeah, like you can hear the creaking and the.
Oh yeah.
The 51-year-old was sitting on a foldable chair at home when it crumbled, landing him on top of a rigid pipe that penetrated his anus.
Damn.
He lay bleeding on the bathroom floor for an hour after being impaled
Jesus.
before a relative finally found him and called for an ambulance.
So he made it to the. So he collapsed and then was like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom."
Yeah. He tried to get a look at it. I bet he tried to get a look
He
at
did,
it.
and then passed right out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whoa.
He
I'm
lay
sure
here.
everything's okay.
Oh no.
He was in shock when the paramedics arrived, having lost.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
No, it's the worst, you
Don't
guys.
sit over a rigid pipe.
You've always said it.
I know.
He lost a significant amount of anal blood.
Sure. And other blood.
At the hospital, doctors performed a series of scans to determine the extent of the damage, particularly to the iliac vein and artery.
Sounds bad.
Major blood vessels that
Ooh, yeah,
supply
sounds
blood to the
bad.
lower body. They had to cut into his abdomen to better assess the damage. Luckily, they didn't find any active bleeding. Collection of blood that had formed there, called a hematoma, luckily had not grown larger, suggesting the bleeding was controlled. The impaled pipe narrowly avoided a potentially catastrophic injury to a nearby artery that would have led to high-pressure bleeding if punctured.
Oh.
Yeah, it would have
Every
been
time
done.
I sit in like a precarious chair, like this thought crosses my mind. It's like one of the things I'm worried about. I like picture the wood doing that.
I've thought about it, too.
Going up.
You know?
I've thought about
Yeah.
it, too. You have to.
I'm like, man, every chair could penetrate you.
Those little... Those little, like, $5 plastic chairs.
Yeah.
Cheap
that's
chairs.
no fun.
The
yeah.
legs that just fold into themselves. You can't go anywhere near those.
You never know when it's going to happen.
You
Happened to
don't.
Rowan Christmas Day.
it did.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
A chair collapsed on him?
No, he was at his grandma's house, and grandma still has some couches that they're probably 35 years old or something. And Rowan just went to sit down, and the whole thing, the legs all
It fell
shot
apart?
out,
The
and
couch?
the whole
The
couch
35-year-old couch
just
fell
Oh my
apart.
God.
destroyed
Just was-
itself.
that's it.
Just
Couldn't handle it
destroyed
anymore.
itself. So then it became trying to fix a couch all morning.
Oh.
So yeah, it's
damn.
good times, but
Damn.
you just never know. Couch, at least there's some cushions to protect your anus.
Right.
Not one of these foldable
No.
chairs. And I don't know why we hang on to them when you should let them go.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
A long time
Like,
ago.
you should let them.
Yeah.
I have a couple of them where I'm like, oh, no one should even sit in that one anymore. I don't know why I haven't thrown it away. I'm going to throw it away today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
This is
Don't
a good
take
lesson.
Chance.
The old chair that I used to sit in,
Yeah.
there
Oh,
was...
here?
Yeah, there was something coming up the middle that I thought, well, I'm going to be penetrated during
Wasn't
this
There's
show.
there
been a
a-
couple of these chairs. Like I had this chair and feel like that before. Like
Wasn't there a
There's-
chair at the old place that we used
Oh, that one
That
broke
one
right on him.
malfunctioned?
Yeah, remember
That
it
did
snapped
break
right in
right.
the middle
Scary.
Yes.
and Dave fell right down.
Yeah, luckily not through my anus.
No,
we,
no.
we
But, I
talked
mean, it-
about it. We were concerned that it could have happened.
All of these chairs have a very high, like under pressure piston device
Right in the
that's right
center.
in the center that it does every single year. Those things blast someone's anus. I believe like
I
it
feel like
happens
it
all
could
the
Don't want it
time.
to be you.
because there was a time during the show where I was really animated, and sometimes I'd hop back and I'd sit down real hard, and then there was one time where I like noticed that, And I'm like, I better cool it with that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I changed my chair out. I'm like, I'm feeling that pull.
Oh, man.
I don't want anything to happen down there. So he arrived at the hospital with this foreign object still inside of him. The man is recovering well after his hospital stay. But a day after being discharged, he did develop swelling in his leg, a sign of a blood clot, and one that traveled to his lungs as well.
Oh, my God.
But his injury, they say, was far milder than it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he fell on a pipe.
Chairs are important, man. Like when
They
I
don't
when
make
I
'em.
check a sturdy, when I get like a sturdy chair, I'm like yes.
Oh, yeah, you're
Like,
proud of it.
I do. I like feel like a pride with it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Well-made chair.
Doctors had to perform a colostomy, a procedure that creates an opening in the abdomen for the colon to pass waste. He was in the hospital for 11 days. His condition improved slowly. Gradually, he regained the ability to walk.
There you go. It's looking up.
So doctors allowed him to go home. But then 4 days later, he started to notice those other issues, including the swelling, and he had to be readmitted to the hospital.
He pushed it.
They gave him some blood thinners, and eventually things kind of worked out.
No, it's not great, man. It's not great.
I feel like your beehole is the thread that's holding a lot of it together sometimes.
It's some of our most
There's important stuff.
dangerous bits to have.
Yeah, it's like that thing
Accidental
in the Death Star.
penetrated.
Pretty important, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So what are we? I mean, we're looking right into his anus here, and it's hard to. Like,
I
is
think we're
that?
seeing his whole bottom there. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, you can't tell.
It looks just,
It looks like it's been destroyed.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't walk. He's like, I'm glad that's over. And then they're like, you got a blood clot now.
And they just happened to find him sitting in a chair in some other photo.
Yeah, is that really
No,
him?
it's a
I
stock
don't know.
photo.
They're
They're just
just
showing a
Is
chair.
that him?
Yeah.
Showing a
my
chubby
God.
Asian man in a
Just
similar
another-
chair.
Yeah.
That's no good either.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But just be careful. Once you reach a certain size, there's certain chairs that aren't for you.
This is crazy. He made it to the bathroom. He didn't
just
Well, I guess you
called.
panic, right? What do you do?
Yeah,
what do you
I'm
do
sure
when
you
there's a
panic.
pipe up your ass?
You're in shock, probably. Like, so he's in shock.
Yeah, and you're bleeding, and you want to assess the damage. You know you fell on a pipe,
Right.
and you know the pipe was in you. So you gotta check it out. You have, and the best place to check it out is the bathroom. It's got a big mirror. You gotta somehow
Would you
spread
really?
your
I don't know
cheeks.
if I could look. I really
Oh,
don't know if I could
you
look.
have to look. You have to look.
Would you look? I don't know if I could, you guys.
I need to know how bad it is.
I don't know if I could look.
I don't know if I could look,
I feel
Chuck.
like once I saw like a pool of blood, like I might pass out or
I think
something.
it'd be hard to look.
Yeah.
I
know,
don't.
in that
I don't think
situation.
you get. I don't think you actually get a chance to look. I can understand the mindset of, I need to see what's going on. Your first,
Probably wanted to
thing.
feel like with,
Yeah.
yeah,
with the bleeding and everything.
I mean, I've looked for lesser things.
yeah,
you
me
know?
too.
So I feel like I would look for this.
Yeah,
Not an anal catastrophe.
no,
Like an anal issue.
Yeah.
I've looked for.
I've had like a anal speed bump, and I've checked it out. Not an anal catastrophe.
Wow.
I've never really looked at my anus.
No, I haven't either.
Give it a whirl. Give it a look.
I don't want to.
It's give it a baseline. You need a baseline.
Like where you're starting from.
Yeah, like this is it normal. Okay, anything weirder than that, and we got trouble.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure I could.
Get
Honestly,
you a butt baseline.
Yeah, you gotta take a look, I guess. Yes,
I think as soon as you saw blood, that would be the indicator.
Oh,
we
man,
have
my God.
big problems.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you knew what happened. You
Yeah.
knew what
Oh,
happened,
man.
though, right away.
and you can't obviously sit down. You just go on all fours. You lie on your stomach. Like, what do you do?
Well, that's another thing, too. Like, after you're discharged, like, what are you supposed to just lay on your belly or something?
During
Ass-
recovery process?
Oh yeah, you can't do a lot of moving. You ever see that thing? They set up like a bike for people to steal,
Oh, yeah.
and the seat like goes down, and like a pipe
Yeah.
goes
Yes.
up, and I always think to myself, that is doing what it's done to this man,
Right.
To
Anally.
all of those people who try to steal that bike.
Yeah. I feel like that's how you get sued by the criminal. that
Oh,
way.
that's I'm sure if they could have tracked those people down, they had to be sued.